Hey everybody, welcome back into Radio Row here at the NFL Combine. Matthew Caller here, and joining the show for I don't know second third time ever, Sam McDowell, Kansas City Star. Sam, how would you like to talk about your free agent guard? Would that be fine? Sure, let's do it. Okay, what do you want to say about your free agent guard? Trey Smith is the belle of the ball when it comes to free agency. Everybody, follow all the other NFL beat reporters. They're like, our team could make an offer for Trey Smith. I'm like, that well. That's about 14 teams now I have seen talking about wanting Trey Smith. He's going to get $1 billion on the free agent market. Is that what you would pay Trey Smith? Yes, exactly that amount I'd pay him. Probably what, like 90% of the cap. Is that too high? No, not for a guard, of course. Not no, in all seriousness. No, my stance on Trey Smith has been like him. Really, of course, he's better than any Vikings guard that they've had since Steve Hutchinson, but at $25 million a year, I don't like him as much. Is that, or do you think he's worth that? So look, this is a different question for different teams. Like the Chiefs, I think, need to let him go, and it's not because of his quality of play. It's not because he's the teammate he is, because those things are great. But from a Chiefs perspective, they already paying Creed Humphrey is the highest paid center in the game. Joe Toney, when they signed him a few years ago, was the highest paid left guard. Now he's dropped to like 4th or 5th, and they paid Joan Taylor right tackle and obscene amount of money. Like, you can't pay 3 interior guys and then your right tackle when you need a left tackle, and so the Chiefs are in a bad spot with Trey Smith. So I expect him to hit the open market. Don't expect them to franchise tag Trey Smith, in which case the numbers you're talking about are going to be the numbers that you're talking about with Trey Smith. Now, the things to like about Trey Smith: he's entering free agency a year earlier than a lot of guys do. He's just 25 years old. He is a terrific teammate. Can't say enough about the kind of person he is in the locker room. One of my absolute favorite guys to talk to. You will be hard-pressed find someone to have a bad word say about Trey Smith. Now, the reason that Chiefs got him as a 6th-round pick is his background story. Obviously, he went through a lot of stuff in college with blood clotting issues, and it scared teams off, and it didn't scare the Chief off, and they say that though, but it had to scare him a little. You don't wait till the 6th round, because he was a 2nd-round type talent, so there's a ton of pedigree there, but it is going to be a lot of people bidding that's going to drive up the price. And let's face it, when it comes to free agency, you don't pay market value, you pay above value for your needs, right? Or if you pay market value, it's for the 2nd-tier type of player, which I'm kind in the camp that that's a good place to live at the guard position, because you get your, like Kevin Zitt last year. The Lions paid him $6 million, and he gave them elite performance. Like, you're trying to look for that, but at the same time, this has been my assessment of looking at Trey Smith, is he does bring a physical nature to the game that Vikings have been lacking. Imposing your will, if you will. That, every time the Vikings got to the goal line, they're like, we better pass, just can't run the football behind any of these offensive linemen. That's not a place to be at the guard position. We're talking about a league that is trending a little more toward running the football, and Vikings have not run it very successfully. This is a guy who I think thrives as a run blocker, but the pass protection does concern me at times. I feel like I see bigger misses than want to see from someone who's going to reset the market at guard position from him. Or is that just nitpicking? Like, is that just try being a little too harsh on him because I know the price is going to be so high? No, think it can be both. Think when you pay a player that amount, you should be nitpicking at all aspects of his game. Like, you're never going to find the perfect free agent, but you're right in your assessment about Trey Smith. Look, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, so I think a lot of people have perception of what the Chiefs are, but once Rashee Rice got hurt last year in Week 3, the Chiefs became a run-first team for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era, and I judge that based on the fact they were running more on first down than they ever had. They were running more than half the time on first down compared to pass, and the reason is because their interior line was terrific at run blocking before they moved Joe Toney out to left tackle. They had Joe Toney, Creed Humphrey, and Trey Smith on the interior, and he is a major component of that. Now obviously changed once they moved Joe Toney out to left tackle, and their whole complexion of offensive line changed, their strategy changed. But you're right that his strength is as a run blocker. He's very physical in the running game, and you notice the whiffs in pass game not only by the pressures, but he does commit quite a few penalties for a guy that's going to be making that kind of money. And so yes, you are not going to be getting the perfect prospect in T.R. Smith, even though I think you're going to, whoever gets him is going to be getting a very good player in Trey Smith. On the other side of that, nobody's perfect. We have typos from time to there's so few good guards in the league, right? There are so few good guards in the league that if you have one that is even above average and way above average as a run blocker, and in previous years I might have not even looked at his PFF run blocking grade 1. Would have been like, yeah, I don't care, let's focus on the pass protection. But since the Vikings really need to improve their run game to just keep up with the rest of the league, they have 2 high safeties all the time with Jefferson. You need to be able to take advantage of that. And the fact that Vikings 3 years in a row have been either 20th or worse in run EPA is unacceptable when you don't even have an extra safety ever in the box. And so to have a guard that can, be physical player can be a difference. Maker now matters a lot more to me, but I also think that replacing him, there's so few great guards, there's so few guys that are even in his ballpark, that if a Robert Hunt is getting 20 and that guy's just okay, I'm not even sure he's that good. That's sort of the price admission to have.